In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a sweatshirt using your Cricut maker. You're going to open up Cricut Design Space and open up a new project. I am just doing a simple text. You can have it say whatever you'd like. I am just doing a shop small, support small businesses sweatshirt. Downloading fonts into Cricut Design Space is super easy. I just Google free fonts. Then you install them on your computer. And then once they're installed on your computer, Cricut will automatically recognize them. Sometimes you just have to close out Design Space and then open it up again, and you should see it in your font selection. Make sure you click on a system for it to look for the font that you want and not just Cricut Design Space. I am using one called Atlanta College, kind of like a sporty font that I got for free. I'm just saving my project, and then it'll be time to cut it out. When you are using heat transfer vinyl, which is what we are sticking onto our sweatshirt, make sure you mirror the image. You're gonna load the vinyl shiny side down onto your sticky mat and then load it into your Cricut machine. Press the arrow button first, then the little Cricut button, and it will start cutting. I am using the Cricut Maker 3. And it cuts pretty quick. I think they have a 4 out now, but I'm loving this one so far. Once it's done cutting, you're gonna use a tool to take off all the excess vinyl that you don't need. You can probably do this with tweezers or something else sharp that you have. I ended up just getting this Cricut bundle of little tools, and it just makes it a little easier. You want to be careful when you're pulling this excess off, but it usually comes off pretty well and doesn't rip your cuts. But you still want to just go slow and be careful. Now I'm just removing the inside pieces that are cut. You can see the lines where you need to pull, but you can always go back to your Design Space to just as a reference to make sure you're pulling the right pieces. So you're just pulling all those negative spaces off. Once you are done with that, you're going to prep your sweatshirt or your shirt, whichever you're going to put that on. When I'm doing just a word or a phrase, I like to keep it right kind of at the center of the bottom of the armpits. And then I have this little collar measuring tool thing that comes in a pack for adults, infants, toddlers. I will link it below for you. It comes in handy. I do use it quite often. So before you stick it all the way down, you're going to want to heat up your shirt. They do make a Cricut press, a heat press. I haven't gotten it yet. I've just been using my iron and it's been working great. So once your shirt is warm, you're going to line it up again, and then you're going to fully press down on your vinyl. I always use a piece of parchment paper over while I'm pressing. I just feel like it's extra protection for the shirt. You're going to heat up each section for about 30 seconds. I just move the iron slowly back and forth, and I have my iron set to just the standard cotton. I think it's as high as it can get. Make sure you get every piece of your vinyl. Then you're gonna flip your shirt around and heat up the back. Same thing, make sure you get the full length of the vinyl and heat it up for about 15 to 20 seconds on the back. Then you're going to wait until it's cooled off before you start pulling off the plastic. I always start pulling it off slow to make sure that it's actually sticking to the sweatshirt. And it wasn't completely sticking here, so I'm going to go back in and just heat it up a little bit longer. Also, I usually like the monochromatic look, but this is a little too on the nose of being the same color. You can barely tell what it says. I still wear it, but I suggest going in with a darker vinyl. Or even a white would have been better. So once it's completely cooled again, then you can go in and slowly start peeling that clear plastic off. If for whatever reason you do need to go back, even after you wash it and you want to just press it a little bit more, make sure you use the parchment paper once the plastic is off. If you just iron onto the vinyl will stick to the iron and come right off your shirt, and it'll make a goopy mess. It usually holds up in the washing machine and the dryer pretty well, but after a while it will start to crinkle and maybe even crack a little bit, and you can straighten it out by going back with this method. Just do not forget the parchment paper. Also, you can heat up the back of your sweatshirt. Again, you don't need parchment paper for the back. And that is it. The possibilities are endless with the number of shirts and sweatshirts that you can make. I've made a million of them. I hope you liked this video and it was helpful. Comment with any questions and subscribe to follow along for more tutorials.